Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it with a brand new Jack Daniel's single barrel, the Tanyard Hill Rye. Yes, the brand new single barrel, the Tanyard Hill Rye. All right, before we dive into everything Jack Daniel's related, a couple quick updates for the channel. People ask all the time, they reach out and say, hey, Judge, what have you recently put out in terms of single barrel picks for your Patron community, and what are you about to put out? So some that just released, I would say the most recent one actually that just released was probably one of my, if not my, I think it was my all-time, definitely it was, my all-time favorite single barrel. This one right here. Our J.W. Kelly Double Oak. This bottle was absolutely just on another level. I crushed my first bottle that I had. I had it for like 2 weeks. It's already gone. So this is my backup, and I have another backup. That one was definitely a special barrel pick. Myself, Patron community loved it. We have coming out in the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we have the other version of that one, the J.W. Kelly, the Silver Spring Rye. Yes, that is coming up in the next few weeks. That's going to be our next barrel pick that's going to be releasing. And then we have others that will be releasing as well, but that's like the next one, the J.W. Kelly, the Single Barrel Rye. And then we also have, that's a brand new pick that we haven't picked yet, but we're about to pick it. The J. Rieger, a hazmat bourbon. Yes, a J. Rieger hazmat bourbon. The first hazmat single barrel pick coming to the Bourbon Judge community. So if you're interested in becoming a patron, go ahead, check me out over on Patreon. All right, back to Jack Daniel's. So I'm really excited about Jack Daniel's. One thing I would say about Jack Daniel's is when I think about them as a brand, I would say in the last 10 years, they have truly done an amazing job of reinventing themselves. They got away from like old number 7, right? I mean, that's still there, of course, but they really come out with like a lot of new products and just reinventing themselves year after year. This being one of their new products, but they had obviously like their age statements, their age stated Tennessee whiskey, the 10-year, the 12-year, the 14-year, a lot of their other bottled and bond products that they put out as well. So shout out to Jack Daniel's to honestly just changing the game a little bit, right? Not sticking to the norm. So very proud of them. With that, this is their brand new release. Yes, their brand new release. This is part of like their annual limited release, if you will. And this Tanyard Hill Rye, it comes from literally, if you go to their property, so if you ever have a chance to visit there is a hill called Tanyard Hill, and it actually holds like one of the oldest rick houses on their property. On top of Tanyard Hill is a rick house, and they got their whiskey from like the top floors of that rick house. That's that, essentially. So they wanted to name it Tanyard Hill Rye. All right, Judge, what else do we know about the Tanyard Hill Rye? So again, it's part of like their limited annual release. The whiskey coming from the top floors of the Tanyard Hill rick house, if you will, is, for the most part, they distilled this whiskey back in 2015. So the majority of these single barrels, and they're all single barrels, the majority of the single barrels that you will find, they're all probably like 9.5, very, very close to being almost 10 years old. I'll fly in the picture so you guys can see exactly what the bottle looks like. Cool? All right. Let me get into this nose real quick. Oh my gosh, this is nice. Jeez Louise. All right, so all these again are aged like 9.5, very close to being 10 years old. They're all again distilled back in 2015. The mash bill on these, 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% malted barley. Oh man, oh my goodness. This is just, I had to let this one air out. I poured it earlier. I had to let it air out. What I love about this new Tanyard Hill Rye limited annual release is the fact that it's all of them being single barrels. The proof is different. So depending on which, obviously, bottle and the barrel it came from will depend on your proof of your bottle that you find when you're out hunting it. But they do range. They are as low as 130 proof, and they go all the way up to 148 proof. Again, because of single barrels. The sample that they gave me, and thanks again, by the way, JD, for giving me the sample, mine is definitely in that hazmat range. Mine is 145.9 proof. Woo! That is straight fire. 145.9 proof. That is up there. So the highest being 148, that's just 2 proof points away. Goodness gracious. Oh my. Oh, this nose is so complex. It's almost like a dark chocolate meets like a minty. but a minty, oh my goodness. It has like a mint, dark chocolate, ton of leather. Oh my gosh, this is like a leather explosion. Oh man. Tons of dark chocolate, tons of mint, a ton of leather, a great influence of oak. There's almost in the background like a very subtle note, and I mean very subtle note of like a cinnamon kind of a note as well. So you got some cinnamon, you got some mint. Wow, dark chocolate. All right, Judge, what is the MSRP? So, but finding it for MSRP might be a bit of a challenge, just because the way liquor stores, unfortunately, in most states mark things up. But the true MSRP is $80, right? It's $80, but again, because it's a limited release, I'm sure most liquor stores are probably going to mark it up because people just want to, you know, grab some extra funds, which is crazy. But the MSRP is truly $80. All right. Wow, this is nice. Really nice. All right, here we go. Real quick, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what are your thoughts if you tried the brand new Tanyard Hill Rye. And last but not least, please make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right. Cheers. Woo! Damn! That is strong. That is powerful. And I mean strong. But, wow, that's still going down. Man, that Tennessee hug is no joke. Wow. Damn, I still feel it. That is about, oh man. That's as, wow. That is truly as bold as it gets. Oh my goodness. But the cool thing about it, it's bold, but it doesn't have like that ethanol, just like pure alcohol kind of a finish that's very off-putting. It doesn't have that. Everything in the nose matches the palate. Wow, my sinuses are clear, by the way. Everything in the nose matches the palate. Tons of brown sugar, a good influence of mint, but not too much, right? More brown sugar, more leather. That cinnamon note is there. What's in the mid end of the palate that I did not get in the nose is like a ton of like dark fruits, almost like a plum kind of a note, like a plum, blackberry kind of a note. That was in the mid end of the palate. I did not expect that at all. That, my friends, is woo! That's a straight fire. Let me get one more little sip, and I'm gonna add a drop of water just to see how it changes, like from a complexity standpoint. Again, I never typically put water in my whiskey. The only time I'll add a couple drops, if it is hazmat, just to see how it changes things up. All right. Woo! Damn, that is really good. That is just so, honestly, that's perfect. That's everything you want in a hazmat and then some. It gives you a very long Tennessee hug. But again, it's not filled with like that ethanol, like kind of alcohol note. It's all brown sugar. It's all leather, chocolate as a whole, a little bit of mint, and those dark fruits as well. So I'm gonna add a little bit more, just a smidge more, and then I'm gonna add a drop of water just to see how it changes things. Just to see. Got a little bit of water here that I left over. Let me just add a couple drops in. Let's see what happens to it. We'll see. All right, that should be good. That should be good enough. A couple drops there. You never know what you're going to get when you proof things down. It might open it up in a very, fantastic way in terms of like a lot more fruit, a lot more X, Y, and Z. But sometimes it might dilute it as well in a bad way. So you never know. All right, here we go. Again, this is the only time I ever add water to whiskey, at least for me personally. To each their own. All right, 145.9, but with a couple drops. I would assume down in like the low 130 range, maybe like 131, 132 now. All right. Cheers. Ooh, that's really nice. Wow. What I loved about that was interesting. Didn't expect that. I added a couple drops of water. The fruit notes that I had in when it was just pure, like, neat. The fruit kind of went away, but it brought out a lot more of the oak. So adding a couple drops took the fruit away, but it added a lot more like oak to it. A lot more oak, a lot more leather. Let me just finish this because this is damn good. Wow. All right. Haven't did this one in a while. We say, Judge, is this a buy or a do not buy or a split decision? It's obviously a buy, but I'm telling you, that is 3 gavels good. Damn, that is good. That is honestly delicious. This was a sample. Thanks again to JD. I'm absolutely on the hunt for this bad boy. I'm going to find it for sure. That is hell yes good. Woo! Not to imitate Ric Flair, but that's pretty damn good. All right, my friends, till the next time. Peace, cheers, most important. Salute. Take care. See you guys.